The issue of advertising, it seems like apps are a very convenient use for advertisers in gaining revenue. I'm just curious, are there any moral obligations that people are developing apps to, not delve so much into the personal lives of people, or are there dangers of having these apps being so well configured to an individual?
Yes, there are, and apart from the sort of ethical issues, there's very likely to be legal issues at some point. It's very tempting for marketers and for networks who sell advertising to marketers to take advantage of the fact that a mobile device, sort of by the nature of how the technology operates, knows a lot more about you than your TV does. Mm-hmm. And it knows, and it often has its own business relationship with you. If you're an iPad user or an iPhone user, you have an iTunes account. So it's quite possible to tailor content, including advertising content, to a particular user using those platforms, and it's very tempting for marketers to do that, because they're always looking to be more efficient in the delivery of their marketing messages and not pay for people who are not potential customers for them. So it's pretty hard, to resist that temptation, I think. The problem is, or not the problem, the issue is going to become how those platform providers are able to use the data that they have on you in terms of making it available to third parties like marketers. And there was just earlier this week a major settlement between the Federal Trade Commission and Facebook, for instance, in which Facebook agreed to some what appear to be, we'll have to see how it actually plays out in the real world, but appear to be some significant constraints on how it can make the data it has on its users available to particularly advertisers. Mm-hmm. And in Europe, there is within the European Union, there's a major initiative coming next year, which is likely to impose even stricter limits on what Facebook and others are able to do with the data that they have, and in particular making it available to marketers. So, there is the creepy factor of an advertiser or somebody you don't know knowing a great deal about you, knowing enough about you to send you, an ad. How did you know I was shopping for a new car or whatever?
Right.
Well, they might know because I used my cell phone to make a test drive appointment or something, and that data is being collected and used, and that there's a creepification factor there that marketers fool with at their peril. That could, you have to be very careful about how far you go in potentially creeping out people you're trying to sell to. And they're likely to, although it'll take time for this to develop, they're likely to face some significant regulatory pushback on